Hello, Sandra Woodine again. We're going to do some more fascia maneuvers. Quick reminder about the spinal pelvic lock. I want you to remember to lift up your pelvic floor, and it's kind of like pulling up your sex organs, lifting that up to your belly, and then holding your belly in. So when I say spinal pelvic lock, that's what I'd like you to do. Just lift up and pull your belly in. This is not, again, about sucking in so you can't breathe. You want to be able to breathe while you're holding this. This helps keep your spine in place and helps your fascia know where everything is. So we'll start with that. And today we're going to start with twisty wristy. I'm just gonna put that down on the floor. So this one, I'm going to forewarn you, if you've never done work with your wrist, and even if you have and you've been doing a lot of computer work, it's going to be uncomfortable and it may even be painful. So I want you to take your left hand out and then grab with your right hand, pulling your fingers down. Now, when I first did this is about where I was. That's how much I could pull my hand down. So it's greatly improved. Now, let's lift that up just to get a really good stretch happening. Turn your head back and forth. Just help the fascia get moving here. Now, bring it down. And I want you to bring your elbow in close to your body and turn your hand out, like you're carrying a tray, or you've got a tray on there. And really, if you carry a heavy tray like this, you're definitely going to need this. So I want you to lift your left shoulder up, turn your head to the right, and you're going to twist your body to the left. So you're looking back over your shoulder. You've got this left shoulder up, hand there, twisting over to the left, your torso, and keeping your hips solid. And your knees, I don't want you pulling your knees in. I want them straight forward. And let's squat down a little bit and breathe. So let's breathe through the mouth first. And out. 2. And out. 3. And out. Through the nose. And out. Remember your spinal pelvic lock. 2. And out. 3. And out. Now let's come back to center. Shake that hand out. Oh. Yeah, that feels good. When I first did it, it was brutally painful. We're going to do the whole left side here. So I want you to put your hand out again and palm up. So this is still your left hand. You're going to take your right hand around like this and turn your right hand out. So your thumb is going to the outside, and then your palm is going to turn down. And you're going to push your hand through like you're pulling on a really super tight glove, pulling your right hand up. And you may want to just bend down and rest your elbow on your knee to get a good grip there. And let's just move around, okay? We're going to move our body around while we move our hand around. The most important thing is moving your hand up and down and around, but you can do that while you move your whole body. And this is all about getting into different positions and feeling for where you feel any resistance, okay? So remember to flex your hand up and down. Go side to side. When I first did this, I could not hardly move my hand side to side. Now, while we're moving around, touch your thumb and your forefinger together. Moving around, squatting if you want. Thumb and middle finger, moving that around. Thumb and ring finger. And let's move the wrist around with that too. and thumb and pinky finger. Okay, now let that go. Shake your hands out. Just walk a little bit. Now, between the maneuvers, you can pause the video and walk back and forth. It's really good to walk at least 3 to 5 minutes. What I actually prefer to do is move a little bit all the way throughout the maneuvers that I'm doing, and then go for a nice good walk after, especially outside, which is where I'm going after this. So the elbow, put your left hand on, just rest it on your traps. Your traps are between your head and your shoulder. And take your other hand, the palm of your hand, into your elbow and just turn it. Feel which way is tighter. For me, it's going out. What we want to look at is finding the area that has more restriction, because in doing the fascia maneuvers, that restriction will help be released. So we're going to do this, and then let's just move around, and we're going to breathe. So breathe in through the mouth. 2, 3. Remembering your spinal pelvic lock. And I like just kind of going back and forth here. Through the nose. 2 and 3. Now we're going to take that elbow up and over. What I like doing is hooking my thumb onto my collarbone and pulling that up and over. But with your hands, if you can't do that, that's fine. With your hands, I want you to push down on your upper back. So you're up like this. Look underneath your left armpit. Lean to the right. And let's take a couple breaths here. Breathe in through the nose. 2, 3. Now let's bring that left elbow down to your right knee. So bend your knees a little bit and bring that down while you're breathing through your mouth. Breathe in. 2, 3. Stop where you feel restriction and breathe into that restriction. Keep going if you can. Breathe in through the nose. 2 and 3. Coming back up. Oh, yeah. So one more thing on the left side. We're going to get into the psoas. And what we're going to do, you're going to find your belly button. You're going to go 2 inches to the left, 2 inches down, and push in right, it's right between like your hip and where your belly button is, and above your pelvic bone. So pull that up, and if you feel burning or anything like that, that is totally normal. If that's the fascia loosening off from each other. So we're going to step forward with our right foot and lean back. And remember that spinal pelvic lock? We're going to lean back and we're going to look back or look up. And I want you to move your body one way and your head the other as you're going through. If you find a spot that's really sticky, then stay there and breathe into it. And this one, we're just going to breathe through our mouth. So let's go. Breathe in. Relax your shoulders. 2, 3, 4. This is a good spot for me. I'm going to stay here for the last 2 breaths. 5 and 6. Okay. Now shake your legs out. Let's do a little bit more moving. Oh, what I like with this one is the relief in my lower back, doing that psoas stretch. That really helps. Like as I'm walking here, I'm just feeling my lower back. It feels like it's melting, and I love that feeling. I just love it. And this is all stuff that I'm doing for myself, you are doing for yourself. Okay, next one, right hand. So take your right hand out and pull it back, and you can see that this one doesn't go quite back as far as the left one. That's okay, each side is going to be different. So lift it up, let's turn our head to the left and the right. Bring it down. Remember to keep your elbow tucked into your body. So your elbow is restricted, your fingers are restricted, and now we're going to turn our hand out like we're carrying that tray. And lift your shoulder up, look to the left, and bring your torso down to the right. So think about your left elbow going towards your knee, bend your knees a bit, and let's breathe in. Breathe in through the mouth, and out. 2, and out. 3, and out. Remember your spinal pelvic lock through the nose, and out. 2, and out. 3, and out. Come on back up. Shake your hand out. Yes, I am right-handed, so this side feels much more uncomfortable than my left. So I'm going to do the wrist release. So here again, palm up, left hand underneath. We're going to turn our thumb out, relaxing the shoulders. Turn your right hand palm down and then pull up. Maybe easier to go down here, but you're pulling a really tight glove on. And I'm going to let's pull our shoulder back as well. And we're going to breathe and move around. So breathe in. 2, 3. Let's move our hand up and down. Breathe in through the nose. Relax shoulders. 2, 3. Now let's go back and forth. Breathe in. 2, 3. Go in a circle. Keep breathing. I like spending more time on the wrist because they are worked a lot in everything we do. Now let's touch our thumb and our index finger. Do a circle. Breathe in, move around. Middle finger. Ring finger. And pinky finger. Okay, let that go. Let's shake that out. Ugh. Okay, so the elbow torque. We're going to put our right hand on our shoulder, left hand, put your elbow into the center of your palm, and I want you to turn, find which way's tighter. Oh, interesting. This side, it's tighter going in. So let's hold that and bend your knees a little bit if you want. And we're just going to breathe and move around. So start with your mouth. 2. Follow your line of where you feel restriction. 3. Through the nose. 2. 3. Okay. Now hook your thumb if you can, if that's available. Hook your thumb on your collarbone, pulling up and pushing down your back with your hand. Readjust your grip. And we're going to look under our right shoulder and lean to the left. And breathe in. Breathe in. 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. Now let's step behind with our right foot. Neglected to do that on the other side. But that's okay. So breathe in. 2, 3. I'm following my line of restriction. Through the nose. 2, 3. And come back to center. Okay. And you know, my other side is missing doing that step behind. So I'm going back to that. So, and it's, oh, interesting. Now is tighter on the inside. So I'm going to just step behind with this one. Looking under your left armpit, leaning to the right, and step back with your left foot. And breathe in. 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. Oh, that's better. Now I'm balanced. Now let's get that psoas here. So here again, find your belly button, 2 inches to the right, and then go down. You're going to be inside your hip. And I generally like doing this on directly on my skin. Pull up and step forward with your left leg. And remember, it's okay if this feels burny. And this side for me definitely feels much more burny than the left side. So we're going to breathe, and you can move your torso and make sure your head goes the opposite way of your torso, or you can stay in one spot. I'm going to move until I find that perfect spot that I need to breathe into. So breathe in. This is all through the mouth. Breathe in. 3, 4, 5. Remembering that spinal pelvic lock, relax your shoulders. 6. Okay. Let's do a little shaky walk. Move your hips. Let's get a little shaking happen here. And I'm just going to do a couple figure 8s. Even though I am going to go for a good walk after this, I really want to integrate this because it's important to do that. So for sure, if you want to walk a little bit longer in between this, then just pause the video. Okay, I'm going to use, this is the smallest one of the Markaloo. You can also use like a tennis ball or anything like that. I find I just have a little bit of restriction yet to really get a good grip with my left arm. I broke it like years ago and my elbow doesn't straighten. So I just like using a little bit of help. And it's okay if you don't need to use anything, and you don't have to push in a lot. We're going to start with the belly button. So find your belly button and put your hand like this and put into your belly button. So once you're there, push in until you feel it stop. And then do a thumbs up. And on the back side, directly behind it, you're going to go the opposite direction. And we're going to bend our knees a little bit, and let's move however you want. Just remember, if you move your torso one way, you move your head the other. And let's squat down a little bit, and we're gonna just breathe through our mouth. So breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is very powerful, and if this helps loosen up all of this area, it's also an area, because where your belly button is, that's your umbilical cord to your mother. So there was a huge exchange here for 9 months while you're in your mom. So this can be a very sensitive area for quite a few people. So if it's a little too much for you, that's okay. Super powerful to do this one lying down. Now the solar plexus. So here again, we're going to put our hand like this, and the solar plexus, like with our ribs come up like this into a little point. That's where we're going to work with this one. And so we're going to do the thumbs up there again, directly behind. We're going to turn the opposite direction. And this time, let's breathe through the nose. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are great maneuvers to do as well with a partner, because then the partner can turn generally a whole lot more than we can do for ourselves. Now we'll do the bladder. So it's the same idea. Come in like this, right above your pelvis, your pelvic bone, and do a thumbs up. And we're going to do the same right behind. So if you have a lot of issues kind of with like your tailbone, this is a great one to do. So there's a bladder release in the organ reset that's also super powerful, which we'll talk about later. So thumbs up in the back. You're going the opposite way, and let's bend our knees a bit and move around. Breathe through your mouth. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, let's move ourselves around a little bit. And I'm gonna drop this down. So the next one is gonna be a hip release. I just wanna set this up so you can see what I'm doing. And okay, so the hip release, you can do this on the ground. I'm just doing it on here because it's a little bit easier. You can do this on the ground. And how when I say to cross your knee over as far as you can, I'm going to show you here. So crossing your knee over as far as you can, what you want to do is get your right knee, if you're able, if it's available, over your left knee. If you can't quite do that, totally fine. So, but we're going to lie on our back. So I want you to lie down. Get your right leg over your left, and we're going to take our hands. Yeah, let's move up a little bit. We're going to take our hands and grab as far down as you can on your legs. If you can get your ankles, great. But we're going to grab as far down, and I want you to pull back and out. So you're kind of pulling your legs apart and up towards your shoulder. So let's get into that position. And you're going to lift your head. I want you to lift your head up to your right knee. So let's breathe in through the mouth. Breathe in. Hold that spinal pelvic lock. 2, 3, all through the mouth. 4, 5, 6. Now, if you're able, you can drop your legs over And turn your head the opposite way and breathe some more. 2, 3. You can go the other way as well. That way is a little bit more harder for me. And turn your head the opposite direction. So I'm bringing my legs over to the right, turning my head the opposite way. Breathe in. 2, 3. And you know what? When you're in here, turn your head different directions and see where you find the most pressure when you do that. Okay, let's let that go. And we'll do the other side. So your left leg up over your right, and you're going to come forward, and you're going to find one side is a little bit harder than the other. Like this way for me, it's harder for me to reach all the way down, and that's okay. You do what's available for you. So let's breathe in, and you know what? Check your head. For me, here again, I want to look to the right. So breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop into one side. Breathe in. Remember your spinal pelvic lock. 2, 3. Going the other way. Breathe in. 2, 3. Okay, shake that out. And you will generally find, as you're breathing, that your hips will drop in that one. Okay, now the knee. This is something you can do when you're sitting in a movie theater, if you're watching a movie on a plane, sitting anywhere, like if you're at the dinner table, if you're out for dinner or anything, you can just do this. Now this one, the best result you're going to get is if you hold it for like 3 to 5 minutes. And we're going to do the double knee. You can also just do single, but let's just do the double knee. So I'll show you how to do the single. If you want to do the single, you have your fingers down, you're turning your thumbs up, and you take the other hand to support it. And then you're going to do all your breathing and move it back and forth. But we're going to do a double knee. So both hands down, both thumbs up, and lean forward a little bit. Okay? Oh, but I want your back straight. I don't want you doing this. I want you sitting with your back straight. And let's breathe through the mouth. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, spinal pelvic lock, 5, 6. Now you probably notice I slowed my breathing down a lot. I tend to do that on this one. Now let's lean both your legs. I'm going to the left. So turn the torso to the right, your head to the left. And let's breathe in again, another 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now move to the right. And adjust your hands as you need to. Now I'm feeling this, like this is releasing up my thighs into my hips, and it's just started going into my lower back. So lean your legs to the right, your body to the left, your head to the right, and breathe in again through the mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now come back to center. Spread your feet out a little bit, and I want you to bring your knees in together. And let's do 6 more breaths. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm looking forward to walking this one out. So the next one is the shin. And the shin, here again, you can do anywhere. You can just, what I want you to do is you link your hands together, your fingers together, and I generally start right near the ankle and just pull up. Move your foot up and down, move it in a circle, and breathe. Breathe through the mouth. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we can move up a little bit more. And you notice that I'm moving my foot. You can move your foot up and down, flex. When you point your toes, really curl. Remember to breathe as I'm explaining this. Curl your feet and then lift them up and pull your toes towards your shin and point, go in circles. That's great. Okay, now we're going to do our calves. So the same thing, link your hands in behind your calf and pull and move your foot around. Remember, when you bring them up, bring your toes to your shin, spinal pelvic lock, and remember to breathe, relax your shoulders. This isn't about tensing your muscles. This is about your body weight just pulling down. So breathe in. Move your leg around. Okay, now for the hamstring. You can do this standing or sitting. We're going to do it sitting today since I'm in that position. So you're going to link your hands again in behind the knee and then pull up on your hamstring. And this for sure, we're going to move around. So breathe in, nice and deep, your spinal pelvic lock, relax your shoulders. Remember to breathe. Keep breathing. Straighten out the knee, lift up, lean back, and okay. The last one on this leg is going to be the ankle. So cross your left leg over, take your right hand close to the ankle, your left above, and you're going to do the snake bite. So your right hand's going to go out, your left hand is going to come in, and pull, do that snake bite, pull, push your heel through. So here again, it's like you're putting on really tight socks. But think about pushing your heel through, and now move your foot and breathe. This was my introduction to Human Garage, this release. And it felt so amazing. Okay. All right. So that's one leg done. Now, let's do the shin on the right leg. So here again, link your hands. I like starting right at the ankle. And let's breathe in, hold your spinal pelvic lock in, and breathe. Point and flex your foot. Move it back and forth, remembering to breathe, hold that spinal pelvic lock, and relax your shoulders. Go in circles. It's interesting, when I'm doing this one, I can feel it in my knee. I'm gonna go up a little bit closer to my knee and keep moving your foot. When you point your toe, curl your toe. When you flex your foot, bring your toes to your shin. And okay, your calf. Link again, in behind your calf, and just pull back. Relaxing your shoulders, and move your foot around. Doing these exercises, I had significant plantar fasciitis in both my feet. And doing these eliminated my plantar fasciitis. I had spent so much money on things to help that. So doing these last ones will really help, because a lot of the plantar fasciitis comes from very tight Achilles. It usually starts in the heel and your hamstring. The hamstring, link your hands in behind your knee, pull it up to the bottom of the hamstring, and let's just move that foot around. Relax your shoulders, spinal pelvic lock. Last one on this one, let's do that ankle release. So the left hand is closer to the ankle now, right hand on top, and we're just going to do that snake bite, pushing our heel out and pulling our leg up. So remember to point and flex your toe, do it in circles. My favorite on doing this ankle release is just rotating my whole foot, because that gets everywhere. I find rolling or doing circles with my foot gets all around the ankle. And then when you find an area that is a little bit more restricted, hang out there and breathe. And remember, you're breathing right now while I'm talking. Okay, well, that is it for today. I want you to get up. I want you to go out and go for a walk. So thank you very much for having this time with me and introducing yourself to Fascia Maneuvers.